What's going on YouTube? It's CHIEFTEXX Films, your tour guide on the road to elevating your image. And on my channel, I highlight my wins and losses so you can capitalize off of my wins and suffer none of my losses. And today, we're traveling to Cary, North Carolina. We're gonna collab with Creative Films. We're talking about stabilization today. So we're gonna go to the park, his kids, my kids, and just talk to you guys about the importance of stabilization in your footage.
What's up guys, my name is Chris from Creative Films.
CHIEFTEXX from CHIEFTEXX Films.
Right, this is Reggie. We just want to talk about stabilization today because we actually both use different types of stabilization, and we want to talk about and outline the pros and cons to each. So this way it may help you guys know more about what you want to purchase, whether that's a pistol grip gimbal is what I have personally that I use for weddings or travel or just run and gun filmmaking. And then we have the Ronin MX that Reggie uses, that he uses mainly for music videos and production values, to where he's going to be in one place the majority of the time, so it's not as much run and gun. So for me, I'll just go ahead and start off. I like the Zion crane that I have because it is light and nimble. I purchased some tripod feet on the bottom, and that helps for me just to set it down. Just like Reggie, he did a rig here to where he can set his down, because normally you can't. You have to put it on the tuning stand. So definitely it's a plus. I'm thinking about actually investing into a Ronin M myself for more music videos or production, higher production value shoots, where I'm going to be in one area and I don't have to set up and break down the whole system. So me and Reggie met out here over here in Cary, North Carolina, so we could discuss the pros and cons to each, so I could try out his setup and see if it's going to be for me or not. But he just got the MX recently, so I'll let him share his pros and cons to it, and we'll go from there.
Pros is it looks professional, so when you out on set, people just automatically think you're professional with this big rig. It basically does the same thing with stabilization as the Zion crane, but like he said, the main things was the tuning stand. I don't have to bring that with me now because I got the small rig grip with the feet on it. So anywhere I want to set it down, I can set it down. And if it gets heavy, I can set it down. I have the actual handles at the house, but I don't think I'll be using those, just because you always got to have that stand with you. I love the stabilized footage that comes from the Ronin MX. I can't say that it's better or worse than a pistol grip, but I just love how smooth it is.
So since I've used the pistol grip and actually used this a little bit today, they're both going to do the same job. So if you're on the fence about which one to go, it really just depends on what you're shooting. If you're going to travel a lot and do run and gun or use it for weddings, I know there are some wedding filmmakers that actually use this type of setup, but there's going to be a lot more to it. So I probably will stick with the pistol grip for weddings, travel, etc. But it's good to experience different types of stabilization. If anything, if you don't have any stabilization at all, I highly recommend you get a monopod to start out with. Tripods are great as well, but a monopod is going to be more, I guess, versatile. You can pack it up really quick and fold in the feet. Most of them come with a case, and it's a guaranteed way to get stable footage if you don't have anything at all. I shoot Sony, so I do have the IBIS, which helps out, but it mainly helps smooth out micro jitters when it's being used on the gimbal, and then the autofocus is great for gimbal use. But definitely get a monopod first and foremost if you absolutely have nothing. Don't just run out and get a gimbal or a stabilizer for your first purchase. Actually learn how to do framing and composition, editing, the works, your camera settings, all that, and get you a monopod. You can do a lot with a monopod.
I think a lot of times people overuse gimbals, and that's the reason why I was against it for 12 years. Is people overuse it, so you got to know. You definitely have to learn the basics first. Even if it's just a tripod, you know, work with that. You don't have to run out and get a stabilizer, man. I think too many people do that. They just run out and get the new hottest thing, and I think that is gonna make their footage better.
So just know these are all just tools, whether you have a monopod, a tripod, handheld, shoulder rig, cage, all that stuff has its, you know, its purpose. So I think it's good to have one of each, honestly, because especially for music videos, if you're into that, because you can get different dynamics with different tools. So on music videos, I'll use a monopod, I'll use my cage, I'll use the gimbal, and I'll use some handheld just to mix up the way the footage looks, because even in movies, they have different setups that they use to give you a different feeling as you're viewing it. So everything is overused nowadays. I just got a drone recently, and I'm definitely making sure I don't overuse it. I like to use it for establishing shots, because really it's just another camera, and it's got a 3-axis gimbal on it. So I use it to show where I'm at and then get right to the ground and, you know, work on the production on the ground more than anything. So these are all just tools. There's no right or wrong. Just take our info with a grain of salt. So, what? Anything else you want to add?
Nah, man. I think you covered everything.
I wasn't trying to cover everything, but because I definitely want to hear from your point of view. You know, he's been shooting 12 years. I've been shooting 2 years for videography. I've been doing photography almost 6 years now, so that's like my bread and butter. But videography actually has taken a turn for the best, and I'm actually doing more video work than I am for photography right now. So I'm embracing it and just looking for new tools, anything that can up my production value. So yeah, that's my main reason.
I think that every videographer should take some photography classes, because before you do anything, you have to learn the exposure triangle, and you'll be surprised how many videographers don't know that. I started out as a photographer also, and like he did, once I seen what video could do for me, I transitioned over, and that's all I do now. But I definitely think every videographer needs to take some photography classes. CHIEFTEXX Films. Make sure you guys stay tuned in to Creative Films. I'll put his link below. We're gonna be doing a lot more collabs in the future, man. So y'all stay tuned, and we'll check y'all in the next one.
That's right. Come check me out, guys. Later.